plates in the department.
Yes.
So, my daughter Isabella...
You need to stop!
Okay, wait. My daughter Isabella has been wanting to do a show for...
Like 16 years. Okay, I'm not even alive for 16 years.
Yeah, it's been a while, right? But you wanted to do a show for a while.
Yes,
and
it feels like 16 years.
the show topic has been Daddy's excellent singing and dancing.
No, I'm running away right now.
No, like, so we talk about parenting stuff, right? And you know the parenting questions come in, and you've had some... Do you want some help getting back up on the chair?
No,
Right.
I'm climbing.
So, yeah, you've had some interest in doing the parenting stuff.
Yeah.
Now, first and foremost, though, I did get a message yesterday from a listener who mentioned something that I found quite interesting. Quick question. Do you think it's possible that you may have grabbed one of my work tablets to watch Minecraft videos?
I don't know, maybe, I think so. Probably did.
Probably did. So he said that I have this playlist, which is me interviewing a bunch of experts on climate, about climate change, and he said at the bottom was a Minecraft video. And I generally am not much for watching Minecraft videos, so I'm going to guess that that was you.
Are you telling me that there's no climate change in Minecraft videos? No change? Like, are you telling me there are no deserts, forests, or Arctic things?
Oh.
Arctic things?
I see what you mean. Okay. So you're saying that it was a conscious and appropriate add-on to my
Yes.
climate change series because it rains in Minecraft.
No, but still, it rains in Minecraft.
But there aren't seasons in Minecraft, right?
No, there aren't seasons.
But there's different regions, like
Yeah.
you can do deserts and... Right, okay. All right.
Arctics and jungles and stuff.
Well, it has been removed due to its lack of seriously scientific nature.
But they're evil snowmans.
I'm sorry?
Evil snowmans, and those live in snow, so that's climate. I have no idea what I'm saying.
Evil snowman, so basically we have horror frozen is our methodology for doing these things. All right.
Yeah, okay,
Now,
fine.
so here's a question that a listener has, a bunch of listeners have called in over the years and said, what do I do about my 2-year-old who has tantrums?
I've talked about so many of these shows with you. Okay,
Yeah.
why can't I spin the chair?
Because it's better if you face the microphone.
Okay, fine, I feel sad.
If you don't mind.
I feel sad now. No.
Otherwise, you know what
Dad,
you'll be doing? You'll be
Dad.
like coming in and going out.
No, Dad, but
and
what if I
coming
go like
in.
this? What if I keep my head facing the microphone? Watch this.
You know, I didn't really think you'd be this hard to work with. Oh, because your hair's going to flip the microphone
Yes.
in a way that mine rarely does.
Yeah, because you don't have any.
Armpit hair.
Oh, Dad.
On the microphone. All right.
Oh, my God.
So people call in and they say, what should we do about my daughter's tantrums?
Yeah.
What would you say?
I don't know. Actually, I'm thinking, how would you answer that question? Because I don't have tantrums.
Well, that means no point me asking.
I know, and I'm
just
just...
show myself.
I have a plan. No, my gosh. Dad, look what happened on the thing when you screamed.
Oh, it goes up.
No, but I mean, like, how would you answer that? I'm just thinking, because I mean...
Okay, well, why do you
I've
think...
never met a kid... Well, I don't really know what tantrums are like, because I don't have
Oh,
them.
you've seen... We won't get into names.
I know,
But
but I've
you've
seen
seen
some...
more than one kid have a tantrum.
Yeah, but I haven't
Even
seen...
if we don't count me as a kid.
Dad, I don't know what you were.
Izzy. No, but you've seen kids have tantrums, right? So why do you think kids do have tantrums?
I think they have tantrums because they either want attention and they want something and they're not being raised too well. I think it's like kind of like I've been paid attention to and like we compromise. So most parents will basically what I'm guessing will just say like they make a decision and that we had an experience with this, no names, but will pretty much make the decision, and then if the kid has a better argument, right? Like let's say make an example here.
Yeah.
Let's say the kid wanted to have pizza for dinner because he hadn't had it for a while or something, right?
Right.
At a restaurant. And the mom said no, right? And then let's say later she's like, oh wait, why should I say no? When the kid's saying, why can't I have pizza? I haven't had it for like a month.
Right. And
Right?
sometimes parents will say no because they're tired or they're short-tempered and
Yeah.
that's not a good reason. And then what they do is they kind of make up a reason afterwards. And I think kids kind of know that.
Yeah, I
like
think
when
so
there's a
too.
good reason, as
Yeah.
opposed to when there's just a reason for no good reason, a reason that's given that isn't a good reason.
Yeah, I know what you
Like
mean.
you know the difference, right?
Yeah.
Not that you've ever experienced a rule without a good reason.
Okay, so Dad, remind me when not a little rock, but there was a rock. This was earlier this year. There was a rock. It was in summer. I think we were at like a park or something, and there was a big rock. Sorry, I was about to turn back. Sorry, and there was like a big rock.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, there's like a big rock, and I'm like, can I climb it? And you said no, and then I'm like, why? And you're like, I don't know why.
Oh, that's right.
Because, do you remember that?
Was that when we were downtown?
No, I think
Not
that
the one
was
with the
that was
water.
up in Muskoka. Remember?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That one was really good though. The one in the water.
Yeah. So you said, "Can I climb the rock?" And I said, "No." And then you said, like I've been rock climbing and I've climbed other rocks, and so I couldn't come up with a good reason why you couldn't climb the rock, right?
Yeah.
So then what happened?
I climbed the rock.
I killed the rock with my mind ray.
Sounds good.
Yeah, you remember that. I remember that so clearly now at this point.
Because I think you may have heard the story too many times or something, but
maybe, yeah.
You do not have mind rays.
I did not disintegrate it with my mind ray.
No.
Yeah.
Like no.
No, and then you climbed the rock and you were fine, right?
Yeah. I climbed the rock and I jumped off it, and it was like 2 feet, which was fun.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing with catching the lizard in Australia. Like I was
the one that was like 3 foot long.
Oh, it was huge.
That was like 2 feet long. Well, no, the thing was the tip of the tail. I found it like this. Remember, it had like the tip of its tail fallen off, so it probably would have been like an extra 3 inches long.
The one you caught?
Yeah, the tip of the tail. I noticed it was
it
kind
had
of
fallen
like
off in the
a
past.
bit of a stubby
Yeah.
bit at the end,
Yeah.
which normally means it's fallen off.
Right. So it didn't fall off when you were catching it, but in the past it had, right?
No, because I caught it like I tried
You
to get
didn't
it.
touch its tail when you caught it.
No.
Right.
So like it was the back legs, then the tail. I caught it like right on the back legs. Like imagine a human's waist. I caught it right at the very bottom of its waist.
I was nervous about you catching that thing because I saw the claws.
I know.
And I also saw that it was a lizard so big that it was chasing a bunch of dwarves, and also it ate 6 ponies.
Dad?
What?
Get over it.
Where's that from?
I have no idea.
Oh, that's from The Hobbit.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Remember the Smaug chases the dwarves?
Oh yeah.
And eats 6 ponies. I think it's 6 ponies, something like that.
Something.
Anyway.
No, he eats a couple ponies. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
No, but that was
his breath weapon was terrifying.
Dad,
What?
It's a lizard. It's not a dragon.
Right, sorry.
You
You're
are.
You're right about that.
Insane.
You're a little carried away. But I was nervous about that, and you...
I still have a scratch from that thing. Like, it's faded.
Wasn't that the scratch from me trying to stop you from catching it?
No, that was the scratch from the lizard when the lady held its neck really hard.
Because you were showing it to
I was showing it. I'm like, guys, you can touch it. And she's like, can I hold it? And I'm like, no, because, I mean, the obvious reasons it might struggle, and she might drop it, right? And then I think she took it out on the lizard because she was mad or something, and she held its neck, like, super hard. Like, I mean, it would hurt your hand if I tried it to you. And then the lizard afterwards, the lizard's like, this is what I'm thinking. He's like, I almost got choked. No, it was a female. No, it was a female because it had a small dewlap.
Oh, the lizard was a female.
The lizard was a female.
Right.
No, but it was a female who also did the thing. No, because it has a small dewlap.
Although in this family, technically, I'm the one with the small dewlap.
No, you're the one with the big dewlap.
Oh,
burn.
Oh, it's a burn.
Oh.
Wait, what do you do after a burn, Boo?
Dab.
She's dead.
I'm a pro at dabbing.
She is a pro at dabbing.
Better than what he did on the live stream.
Better than what I did. Although
he did pretty good, though.
I did pretty well.
Pretty good. That's not no.
So you wanted to catch the lizard. I was kind of nervous about it, but I wouldn't say I let you do it because have I ever stopped you? Like I don't physically stop you from doing stuff, right?
No, but I mean, both parents would either physically stop their kid or like yelled at their kid saying, "No, if you touch the lizard or go near it, then something
you're in big trouble.
You're in big trouble or something like that."
Or another thing a parent could do is you could just chase the lizard away. Can you imagine how sad that would be?
I know.
Like you've got this lizard, you've been waiting the whole trip
to catch
it, and it's right there. And then he just chases it away.
The parents just shoo.
See, now that I think is where a tantrum could happen. I'm not saying you'd have it at 9, but that's where a tantrum could happen.
I would be really mad if you did that.
You would be, right?
And I'd be like, Dad, you owe me a lizard.
Right.
We're staying here until we find another lizard.
Could be a while. Cause
I don't care. I'd say we're coming back tomorrow or extending the trip because I'd be like, I've been waiting this entire trip, probably about like 12 days to catch this. Well, no, I've been waiting longer. I've been waiting over months because that's when we heard about it a month before.
Wait,
and
I'm going to help your story here.
Yeah.
I think it was even more than that because you've never, ever in your life had a chance to catch a lizard that was 2 or 3 feet long.
All I've seen when I was 4 was 3 iguanas. They were sitting on a fence. It looked like a family, big, medium, small.
But you wouldn't have catched them.
I wouldn't have caught. Maybe now I would have. Yeah. So once I caught it, it literally ripped bark off a stick when we put it on his mouth. The reason I was trying that was because I'm like, maybe if I can get it, I can grab it. Not by the neck, but lightly by the neck, so that it can hold it better. Right.
No, but so I think that that was an example of like negotiation.
Yeah.
Okay, when did you first get into lizards?
Oh man, I think that was when I first saw like How to Train Your Dragon or something.
Which has got to be a couple of years ago.
Oh, that
4
no,
years
How
ago?
to Train Your Dragon 1 was probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Well, no, the reason it was that was no, I think before that because I just thought they were super cool. Well, I've always liked mythical creatures, and one of those is dragons. In fact, I'm super good at drawing them.
Yes, you are. So it's been probably 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. So
now I remember when we were in. Go ahead.
Okay, but the reason I think I like lizards is because they're basically dragons with Komodo dragons, which are one of the biggest, probably the most fierce type of lizard, is kind of like a dragon, it just needs breath weapon and wings. Well, no, it just needs breath weapon because otherwise it could be a drake, sort of.
Oh, no, wingless dragon, right?
A wingless dragon, which is a drake.
So when we were in Belize, you weren't that interested in the dragons that were out back of the... I was giving a speech out there, right?
You said dragons.
Sorry, did I say dragons? Sorry.
Yes, you said dragons.
Brain cross.
Brain cross.
So you weren't that into it then, but it was sometime after that, and that was 5 years ago or 6 years ago. And so I think that for years you have been wanting to catch a really big lizard.
I remember the biggest one I've caught was, well, before Australia, it was probably about a little bit bigger with my hand, but it had an extremely long tail. It was one of the green anoles in Florida. I think that's what they're called, green anoles.
Anoles?
Anoles, I think.
Anoles?
Anoles, I think. But something like that. And they can change brown to green, and those guys have extremely long tails and super long, like, heads.
Yeah. So you have been waiting for like half a decade, right, to catch a big lizard. And we had talked about it before, and we had said, listen, as long as it's not like your size...
It's fine.
Well, as long as it's not too big, right? And this one to me was a lot bigger than I thought. Maybe it would be like this big.
Yeah.
But that's about a foot, right? But this thing was like 2 foot.
Well, with tail.
With tail, yeah.
Not about, maybe like 1.5 feet, but...
Yeah, it was bigger, and also it had these spikes on it, it had claws.
Yeah, it had really big claws.
It had,
so cool.
I mean, I didn't see much teeth, because, I mean, they're more grindy teeth.
They don't really have teeth.
No.
Well, all it has a jaw power, but it doesn't have teeth.
Yeah,
if it had teeth, then it would pretty much be a Komodo dragon, just
yeah, because they don't
smaller.
rip flesh like a lion or a...
No,
right?
but he did pull off a big chunk of bark.
Yes, he did.
We got that on video, too. It was pretty neat.
So... we had already said, and to me this is the really important thing. That's fine, just a scream on it.
Okay.
So this is the really important thing about how to avoid tantrums. So the first thing is, you have to have agreements up front. Like, I always talk about that, right? Like, we have to have an agreement ahead of time about how things are going to go, and we don't just make up a rule in the moment, right?
Never
because
do
we
that.
went there partly so that you could find a big lizard.
Well, no, because remember, Lauren Southern, so the reason I have to say that, I have another friend named Lauren, but... Lauren Southern was there earlier, and she said she saw 3 just sitting on the path. So, the reason I was so much into it is because, there are these enclosures outdoors with, like, big holes in the fence, easy to climb, right?
Because it was
for
a zoo,
lizard.
right?
It was not a zoo, exactly, but a closed zoo, sort of. You're right, zoo. But... so a lizard had decided to climb into the enclosure. It was like an enclosure where it was just a fence, sort of, right? Because it was a bird, a flightless bird, so it was fine, right? And the lizard had freely climbed into a huge enclosure, right? Free lizard, and I just saw him sitting on on a rock with a patch of sun, but it wasn't even near the edge, and it was like a dangerous bird that was in there, I think.
Yeah, so you'd already seen one, and then we were actually trying to leave, but we'd had this deal. Now the deal was...
so they're left, and I'm like, no!
Yeah, but so we have this deal where you can catch a lizard, and we can't change that deal. So even though, like, in keeping the deal, if we have a deal ahead of time, then we really have to stick to it, right?
Yeah.
And I think knowing that you can trust the deal ahead of time means that you don't get tense, and you don't have to try and win something by getting angry in the moment, right? Like, even though I had reservations, which means, like, I was a little uneasy about you catching the lizard, you knew that you were going to be able to do it, right? Because that had been the deal.
Well, I mean, it's funny. I'm not scared to catch something that's probably like the size of my arm. I mean, sorry, the size of my arm and hand with tail.
Yeah. Right.
But I'm like in Florida, it's like the little guys, the little common guys who are just brown and stuff. Yeah. And like, you have a really big head, and I don't want to catch you. I'm like, this guy's head is like the size of one of those lizards. And I'm like, I'm gonna catch him, but in Florida, I'm like, no, he gave me a tiny cut. I'm scared.
Well, but this was, I hate to say once in a lifetime, but certainly, if you've been waiting for 5 years. Yeah, if you've been waiting 5 years, that was an important one to do. But we had a deal, right? And so we have this deal also around sugar, right? Do you want to tell people what our deal is around sugar?
Yeah, no sugar Monday to Friday. And we can trade out weekends. My mom's not a huge fan of that, but I mean, like...
Yeah, we can trade them out.
now that I'm like, we started that when I was like 6 or 7 or something.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, it was like more like, I'm like, the reason my mom didn't want to do it when I was younger, and she's still keeping that a little bit, I think, because, but when I was younger, I was like 6 or 7, right? So I'm like, oh, one more weekend, you know.
It kind of went off into like.
I tried to avoid it, and I tried to make people forget about it.
It's like people who try to pay their debt by borrowing more money. It doesn't really work. So we have that deal, and what that means is that we don't get it. If you have to deal ahead of time, you don't get into conflict at the time.
And we know that we can have like a little sugar. Like we have this piece of...
Oh, that 99% chocolate.
I'm telling you guys, unless you're like a huge fan of really bitter chocolate, never get that. It's terrible. Well, I mean, the 9% is pretty good, because we can have that once. There's the 78% we can also have. Yeah. You should try getting it. It's really good. Whoever's
listening to this. Yeah.
Whoever's listening to this.
So we don't have a lot of conflicts over sugar because we have a deal ahead of time.
Yeah.
And so coming up with a deal ahead of time and getting your agreement on that deal is really important.
Yeah, it is.
So I think that when there's chaos, like the kid doesn't know whether she's going to get her way or not, then there tends to be this kind of escalation, right? Like they get upset, they get angry, they try and bully their way or have a tantrum.
I don't think it's exactly that.
No?
I think it's more like bad parenting. What I mean by that is like, I think it's more like, were they loving when they were younger? Did they include them in stuff? Did they, you know what I mean? Like, you know how like it's sort of like the older sibling gets more attention or something? Like just like the little things, like let's say there are 2 siblings, right?
Yeah.
So the older sibling gets all the new clothes, and then in some families it's like Passovers.
Wait, I'm sorry, I'm just... I've heard of families like this. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Dad.
I really do.
Like, I'm telling you, you suck at fake crime.
So, okay, sorry, you were saying 2 siblings. So, like, hand-me-down clothes, right?
Hand-me-down, like, that makes the younger sibling pretty mad, and then that can escalate to get mad at the parents.
Right. Now, you said...
And also, like, normally in conflicts, like, the parents just yell.
Yeah.
Right? And overpower the kids' voices pretty much.
Right.
Right? But that's not how you deal with conflicts. Dealing with conflicts is more compromising, talking about it and making sure it doesn't happen again, getting an apology from everyone, except for the person who's in the right. Well, even if the person's in the right, it might change a bit.
Yeah. Usually if there's a conflict, particularly in a family, usually everyone has something to do with it. And that might be 60-40, it might be 70-30, maybe it's 50-50, but usually it's rarely 100-0.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Rarely. Like, that's almost never.
Now, you said something earlier I was kind of interested in. You said... Sorry, that sounds like I wasn't interested in the other stuff. But you know what I mean. It's okay. You said if the parents don't include them. What do you mean by that?
What I mean by include them is, like... Let me think. Like, I mean... Well, not really notice them, I mean, sort of. By that is, like... Like
parents who are just, like, on the tablets all the time or watching
TV. Well, yeah,
like,
think about it. When they're going to the playground, the parents... Most parents just sit on their phones or...
Isn't that sad? We talked about that even when you were very little. And
I was like 3, and then it's annoying because whichever parents go in, like my dad, I'm like, I want to get time with my dad, right, in the playground.
Oh yeah.
But then all the kids just glue onto us.
Right.
Like all the kids are like, oh, let's go run, let's go play with them, right?
Because there'd be like 10, 20 kids in there. How many parents?
1 or 2.
Like maybe me, and I was always in there. Like I never stayed
almost
out.
Once or twice, like you went out, like once.
No,
or twice.
But I mean, like I never said. We never went to a play center or playground, and I said, I'm gonna be on my phone, go play.
Yeah.
Never. Right?
Never.
I mean, I'm always coming in. Now, there may be times if I get a message or something important comes up for work or whatever, but for the most part, I'm like in there. But the other kids, and it's mostly moms during the day, they're just out, right?
Well, no, the kids just gravitate to us, and it's after a while. I'm like, I'm not trying to. It's not like, it's not your fault, kids. But I mean, it's like everyone is just gravitating to us. So I have this whole thing where it's like, okay, so the first time they ask, and I'm like, no, sorry, I want to play with my dad for a bit.
They ask, can we play?
Yeah, I'm like, sorry, can we play with my dad for a bit, and then we can include you more, right? Then if they keep trying, then I get progressively more.
More harsh, right? Sometimes.
Harsh. And then if it's like the 6th or 7th time, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, this is not just you, but I've been trying literally 6 years to get some time with my dad in the playground.
You have not been trying for 6 years to get time with your dad
what
in the playground.
What I mean by is like, it's not been happening that much.
Right.
Like,
so maybe this whole time we've been trying to do it. Right?
We've been trying to do it, pretty much, but all the kids, I haven't been trying myself, but I mean, we've both been trying, but then all the other kids come in, and then we feel bad kind of like...
Oh, we came to play with each other, you and I, not with the other kids. But you remember how many times...
We're never going to see them again.
Hang on, you'll remember this very well. You'll remember, Isabella, how many times I was very strong with the children who wanted to come play with us. And I said, children, I'm afraid I can't. I must say no to you wanting to come to play with us.
You never said that.
What?
You never said that.
You didn't let me finish my sentence.
You never said that.
Finish my sentence.
I don't, but God, the speaker thing is like,
hey, don't, Izzy, people are going to try and nap to this.
Oh,
anyway,
oops,
I'm just
sorry.
kidding.
You're being super loud too.
Me? Very good.
Daddy, my friend.
So, let me get back to my pose of being virtuous. And I would say, I have come here to spend time...
Sleep spell. Sleep spell.
No, I was terrible with that, right?
No, I'm like, Dad, say no. Why do you say no? And you're like...
And the children want to come and play with us.
I don't care. Get
no.
help with your own parents.
I can't say no. They're so low. They're so sad. There's no parents are playing with them.
I know.
And they want to come and play with us. Sometimes it was fun, right?
Yeah, except for the time when they kept... sorry.
She's sitting on the chair and turning away from the mic, so
I
sorry
know.
about the... It's going to be like an ambulance going back
It's
and forth.
going to be like...
Yeah.
Okay, if that was like a super odd noise, I have not made that before. That was freaky.
At least we have it now recorded forever.
I am scared.
No, but I couldn't... I had such a tough time saying no.
I know that.
Really did. You probably didn't notice it.
Dad.
You really did. But at least I was honest about it. I said, look, some kid comes up to me with those dewy kitten eyes and wants to come play with us. What am I going to do? No! I'm sorry your mom is on her phone on a couch or on a bench, but I couldn't. I mean,
Even at the butterfly conservatories, I'm like, hey guys, look, I just got a monarch on my finger. Then all the kids swarm up and like, can I play? Can I?
Yeah.
Like it was a game. You and I were doing a contest, like who can get the most butterflies.
Right.
And then like I think I won for this because I put more apple juice on my fingers than you did.
Right. And normally they like me more because I just smell like a flower.
Dad, you smell like sweat. You smell like sweat in that like 30 degrees heat in there.
Okay, it's a sweaty flower.
Dad, there are no sweaty flowers. I don't know what you're thinking of, but I don't think there are any sweaty flowers that exist.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Okay,
Like, I
so
don't
the
know,
inclusion
but-
thing means, so like if your kids, I think it's really, really important for kids to know.
Talk quieter, it's super loud.
I think it's really, really important for kids to know
You're literally louder.
that their parents enjoy their company. The reason we would go to a play center or playground, I'd come in to play because it's fun.
Yeah.
Right? But if I say, you go play, I don't want to come in and play, I think the kid's like, well, why doesn't my parent want to play with me? And if you enjoy each other's company the most, then you really want to compromise because you want to get back to the fun. But if you don't have a lot of fun together, it's not as easy to compromise, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I know what you
There's
mean.
less incentive to, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
All right. Well, okay, so how did you
Yeah.
enjoy our first chat that was recorded?
It was very fun.
Yeah? It is
Yeah,
fun.
it was like at the first 3 seconds, it was super awkward. Then it got fun.
But if you just remember you're just talking to a person, right? I mean, it's not that different from our regular interactions, right?
No, it isn't.
Yeah, so I think people will find it helpful. So, yeah, lessons are have rules ahead of time. Really enjoy your kids' company. Make sure that they know that. Include them in what it is that you're doing.
Everything, like
Negotiate.
Sorry. Well, yeah, I know sometimes when it's supposed to be you and me day because mom's at work, right?
Yeah.
And you have like an hour or two to do something, right?
Yeah.
And you have to do something. The occasion. Then, like, let's say the parents, whoever's watching this, right? If you, like, it's supposed to be you and your kid day, and then for some reason you have to, like, work for a while. Like,
Emergencies happen.
an hour or something, right? You have to just work on a really important letter, for instance, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens is your kids are like, get sad, right? But then you tell them, you say, listen, I don't know how long it's going to be, or let's say it's going to be blah, blah, 1 hour, right?
Yeah.
But then what you say to your kids is say, listen, so this is after it. You say, I'm sorry, you apologize, say,
I have
sorry,
done that,
it was
right?
an unexpected thing.
Yeah.
And then sometimes my dad will give me a treat or something, right?
Yeah.
Like he'll give me a piece of, like a little piece of chocolate. Like
Yeah.
what I was talking about earlier, the 85%
Yeah.
or the 90%. Cocoa, I mean.
Yeah, no, I've definitely had it where something's come up. And now, I'm not a doctor, right? So it's not like someone's going to die if I don't do something. But I think something's coming
Yeah.
up that's really important. Some big breaking news or
But
something.
let's say the election, in terms of the election,
Yeah.
we
Oh,
had
remember that whole day with Judge Kavanaugh?
We had planned for like a home day, and you're like, Izzy, we did do a home day, and I'm
I
like,
thought it was
yes,
just
but
gonna
it
be an
wasn't
hour or
fun. Yeah, but it was like 8 hours, and I'm like, okay, well, at least I was sick, so I didn't want to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah. But I really apologize for that, right?
I was sick.
But no, I mean, I
Honest.
apologize for all of that, and I do. If there's stuff that we're supposed to be doing together and there's some delay, then I'm like, wow, I'm really, really sorry. You know.
It was
like-
also annoying because it was a weekend, and that's when I can have sugar.
Oh no, it was a Thursday.
Oh, it was? I thought
Yeah.
it was a weekend. Oh, yeah, it was Thursday. I thought it was Saturday. No, something other big was happening on Saturday. Saturday too.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be the next Saturday. Like
So you couldn't even go anywhere and have candy.
No.
But here's the funny thing too. I was just thinking about this the other day. You don't even have that much sugar on the weekends.
I don't.
When was the last time you had like a bowl of ice cream?
Well, I think that was probably in like St. Louis.
Yeah.
I didn't have bowl ice cream. It was actually Friday, but we counted it because it was vacation.
Yeah.
Well, actually not vacation, but
But
it was
travel.
Like, it was fun.
Yeah.
It sounds like I was really mad, but I'm like.
Well, thanks everyone. We will.
No, I'm doing the ending. Get out. This is my show.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thanks. No, you do it. Never mind.
All right. Freedomain Radio. Freedomainradio.com/donate. Thanks.